Yo, what it do, YouTube? We back with another episode. This one's a little bit of a special treat. I'm not gonna lie. Host close to us, Cambridge made. I'm gonna throw this one off to Murph. How you been, man?
I've been chilling.
Okay.
Nothing really new on this side other than, new sports things that happen, MLB. We'll get into that a little bit later, but yeah, we got a really special guest here. We've both known him for a couple years. No, not even a couple years.
Some time now, since middle school.
Say
10
about,
plus.
About a
10
decade.
plus.
10 plus,
Don't
yeah.
say 10. I'm feeling a little old. I'm not gonna lie.
It's 10 though.
But we got on my boy Omar. My boy, how you been, bro?
I'm good, bro. Same thing as y'all. Just figuring out my way in life, and
Yes, sir.
I'm happy to be here. It's truly an honor.
I'm super glad to have you as the first guest, bro. I feel like just prior to we starting up these cameras, we've been having great conversations. We've been here for maybe like an hour just chopping it up.
Hour and a half.
Yeah, just having to stop ourselves before we get too deep into it. It's been a good start. I'm glad to see how this pod goes. And bro, just tell me a little bit about yourself, bro. Who are you? Who is Omar?
Who is Omar? Omar is a man from Boston originally, but I came to Cambridge and I met guys like these two. And I share the same love. It's about sports, and we've all played sports and everything, but it's one thing that we all share, and we're all just able to talk about, and that's why we're here. So,
and that conversation could go on forever, bro.
Exactly, but no, as a whole, I'm just a human being. Just trying to make it to the next day, but.
Yes, Sirski. I'm gonna run you off with a question.
Okay.
So coming from Cambridge, a great city that me and Murph grew up in. You came in there in your middle school days. You grew up in there as well, technically. Do you think Cambridge, compared to other neighboring cities, has more opportunities that other cities don't?
Yeah, I mean, so for reference, like my mom's a high school teacher in Boston, right? Boston Public Schools isn't the greatest. I used to live in Boston, so, I've been involved in stuff like that.
What age did you move out?
I was 12. So I came here for 6th grade. But, seeing what happens in a bigger city like that, you realize, like, once you come to Cambridge, you're calling your teachers by their first name, and it's a lot more welcoming, and it's a city, but it's also a small town at the same time.
Like a community.
Right. And, it takes two to make a thing go right. When you add more people and more people are together, then a lot of more things can happen. So, I mean, Cambridge is obviously like a very, opportunistic, but also, they, as a city as a whole, they come together and they do shit properly. I think in other cities around us, like Somerville or even Malden or whatever you want to say, Medford, they're smaller scale. They're not going to get the same looks as we do because we have like Harvard, MIT, but as a whole, the community of Cambridge, like, that's what it's all about. And if you can't build a community within a city, then it's hard to compare to others. But I think Cambridge goes a step above that with a lot of people like Galuccio, who doesn't get enough recognition. Shout out to Galuccio. Just want to say that.
A little preview.
Yeah. There's different people. I could name a whole list of people that make this city what it is. But I just think Cambridge is a very special place. I mean, I've never met types of people I meet in Cambridge anywhere else. So
fair to say you think it's kind of crazy, at least to me, like growing up in Cambridge was cool, but like, bro, we was really right next to Harvard. Like you could take a 2-minute walk to Harvard Yard.
I used to walk through it every day to go to school.
Exactly, like coming off the train, right?
Yeah.
My street is right off of Harvard Street.
Exactly.
I'm right in between Harvard and Central Square, so I grew up going there, and my mom did too. My mom grew up in a different time. She's told me her experiences. She tells me how things have changed, how to deal with shit. But it's just, I don't know. Most people think of our city, they think of either Boston or Harvard. we're neither of those. We're Cambridge.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. We have our own identity.
Right, and I think that gets misinformed a lot of the time. But you know, like I said, the people that I meet from the city are just it's special. You know?
I feel you.
That's what makes it, you know, a city.
The one thing I will say about Cambridge is like everyone speaks on the opportunities and just certain things that can happen like growing up or just living in Cambridge, but it's like at the end of the day it's still your decisions.
For sure. 100%.
And like I think it goes without saying, like guys like Galuccio and some of our teachers growing up, like pushing us to actually go out and do what we want to do.
Well, they didn't really have to.
And like we've all seen it, like kids with the same opportunities as us just didn't stay on that path.
Mm-hmm.
That happens in any city, though. You know,
Yeah.
There's gonna be
yeah,
kids.
but with Cambridge though, it's like you have more of an opportunity. Like it's other cities aren't as like diverse, or like they don't offer the same programs, or like just the opportunity in general of like people who you can meet.
Yeah.
And then like
Connections
grow a relationship with them,
The
and then take it to like the next level of like a career, like sports, coaching, like whatever it might be.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, like some guys just don't choose to take that opportunity.
One thing I wanted to talk about before we move on to the next one is just like the opportunity goes from different age ranges. So like you could be a kid, have great opportunities at Cambridge. You could be a young adult like we are, have great opportunities in Cambridge. And you could also have your career set, be in your late 30s, 40s, and still have amazing opportunities at the bridge. So that's kind of what I was like hinting at, like the great opportunities that there are. But I know you guys got a fond sports moment. I want to ask you, I want to know more about what's your favorite personal sports moment as a player though?
As a player?
Yeah.
Man,
I know you got a lot. You've had your fair share.
I mean, I used to play like 6 games a weekend of baseball. And
I remember that.
catching in the heat. I would like play a doubleheader, then go to my next game, catch again. You know, there's so many like, I don't know, different things that I could look at. But, you know, being here and, you know, like Leo said, we were talking about it before, like there's just one memory, like very fond memory of when me and Murph were playing. When I came to Cambridge, Murph was one of the first people I met. And he was on a little league team that I was playing on, and there was a very nice coach. Like he was probably the nicest man on earth. And he helped me play more baseball, so I love him. Okay. Shout out to Ryan Whitaker, and I'm sure he'll see this at some point. So I just want to let that be known. But back in the day, you know, Murph was a hothead. He had his moments, but I remember one specific moment when there was a scorebook error, and there was really already 3 outs. But the coach of the other team let Murph hit, and Murph just so happened to hit a home run.
It wasn't just a home run, though.
It was a grand slam.
It was a grand slam.
Okay. So, I
didn't know you had it like that.
Nah, but the reason why I just remember Murph going around first, and I just remember, because, like I said, he was always a hothead. To see him so, you know, joyful and just
I was
happy,
trying base. Yeah.
He was the happiest person I've ever come across at that exact moment. But once he came around second base, the umpire's waving it off. And come to find out, there were 3 outs instead of 2. And
he wasn't the nicest guy anymore.
No, Murph was not happy after that.
I exploded.
Murph, and rightfully so. But I'll never forget when Ryan looked at me, because I was on the bench. Ryan looked at me, he had the scorebook out, just like this. He's like counting up the outs. And he's like, oh shit, Murph's not gonna like this. And I look up and Murph is just freaking out.
I ended up going around all the bases.
You still had your Kodak moment?
But like the craziest part was like, just think about it, like little league or not, at any level, like there's not a lot of people or kids that can say they hit like a grand slam,
For
Yeah.
sure.
and like
It's true.
that was probably like
That's a big time moment.
You had no business hitting a home run either.
I put a couple into the pool. Stop it.
maybe not like the home run, but maybe like that moment.
That moment was put in
it
place
was
for me.
special. It was beautiful. Like
See, bro, he's trying to downplay it like it wasn't my moment.
Nah,
It's crazy.
Nah, but he probably meant like you wasn't
Nah,
expecting
bro,
Murph
but,
to
like-
step up like that.
dude, it was crazy because I remember it like I'm like running through it in my brain of each moment. I don't remember a lot of shit, but like that was one thing stuck
that's
with
crazy.
me. And like as we've grown up, I watch you grow into the person you are. Like it's like it's refreshing to look back on. You know,
I go back sometimes and just think about, because I still have pictures on my phone of like just like growing up. Like you can look through like the years and like looking through some of the pictures, like your parents were at the games, my mom was at the game, and like they'd always be taking pictures or videos or whatever, and like getting to look back at that, like you don't ever notice it in like the moment because like you're young and
right?
you shouldn't, like you should just be in the moment
Yeah.
as a kid, and then but looking back at it, it's like you don't realize how many memories you actually had.
Yeah. Shout out to the parents that add those pictures. There's so much value to those
Seriously.
flicks.
We're lucky that we grew up in that time. Like we were in like a transition period of like no technology to a boom of technology.
Yeah.
right? Like people used to have Blackberries, and the next thing you know, you have
iPhones.
iPhones, shit
Touch
you could take
screen,
video
all that
with.
good shit.
Remember the flip camera?
Yeah.
Like shit, like that's how people used to take video of stuff, and that was like within our lifetime.
I remember my
like
mom's
this?
first phone, and
Yeah.
she had the little Motorola, and she was
Yep.
snapping for days. The
Yeah.
hot pink Motorola.
You can't see a thing on it. 'cause it's
My-
all
my
very
pixelated,
first
but
one
it's
was
just
the
like you see
Sidekick.
that and you remember, oh,
Or like
Sidekick.
it's like a tiny Samsung, and then you turn it over.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was
That
like
was
the
a big
coolest,
deal.
bro. It was the coolest shit back
It was
then.
like 06 to 08, maybe even a little further. That was like that was the iPhone of the
Bro,
time.
and they weren't even like expensive like that.
yeah.
And like I can remember when I got it, I used to in the summer I would be at the Arlington Boys and Girls Club, and I was like there was very few kids that had phones, and I was one of them. Bro, every chance I got, fucking pull that thing out, texting nobody.
Texting nobody.
Who the fuck am I
Let me see if
texting?
this
got
button
anyone
still
to
works.
text.
Type shit.
I got no one to text. It's like the middle of summer, everyone's playing sports or outside.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
It was a good It was a good period to grow up in. I feel like every period has its ups and downs, but I feel like we grew up where we seen everybody has, but like prior to all the social networking through all these social media apps to like now we're here and you can really make friends online mad easily. It's insane. Like we're able to do podcasts now. It's
Bro, you don't
insane.
even like have to like type people's names in anymore.
Yeah,
You
they
download an
just
app
pop up.
and like it's like suggested.
Like if they're in your proximity, they're popping up. But speaking of proximity, I mean, we're not that old. You feel me? Like we graduated high school in the past 4 or 5 years. Speaking of graduating
Not
high
that old.
school, you feel me?
6 for you, 5 for us.
ain't have to.
Yeah.
You ain't have to.
Nah, it's fine. We got this is listen.
But we're on. It's 23 and 22.
No, that's valid.
It's a podcast.
We some
of
young heads
facts.
though, yo. See us back in like 5-6 years. We're gonna be in a different spot. We're gonna be up. Trust.
But see, the thing is like these kids now they don't have like. There's no seriousness behind coaches. Like that was real life. Like that was like holy shit. This dude fought in a war for this country, and he's deteriorating
But he's
at a
still
crazy rate.
developing and
he's
giving
still,
out to the city.
Right. Like that's what I mean when I say like Cambridge is. It's the people that make it special.
Yeah, for
And when people
100%.
come together, like dudes like my dad and Rob and Gooch, like they come together and they coach baseball. They make a difference, and that's
culture.
That's what it's about. And like,
But those are also the guys that are doing it for free, and like
right, they're not
doing
getting
it for
paid.
the town. So like you played AAU, so like you have a different point of view than me because I
Mm-hmm.
didn't play. But like I feel like you didn't play it. You played before the blow up of AAU.
Yeah.
So where like kids now are playing AAU from like the age of like 10,
Yeah.
and like a town coach can't tell them anything because of their parents writing the check, and like these like coaches in AAU are like making empty promises.
The thing is I was just talking to my pops about this. The price for AAU, I remember it. Like, and you're 100% right, because kids don't know how to decipher shit anymore. They also just don't listen to people in general. I could go on about kids today and whatnot, but AAU was $2,000, you know, and it's a lot of money, especially at the time too, like 10, 11 years ago. It's a lot of money for my parents who are middle class people.
Dead dogs. What?
And what ended up happening though is like I had
$10,000 for a season is what you're saying?
Not 2.
I'm sorry, I said 2. Yeah, I said
It was 2. You said 2.
All right, $2,000 for a season though.
$10,000.
10. That's. I mean, some
I'd
teams.
be like, yo,
some teams
pick a
today.
different hobby, bro.
Some
Yeah,
teams.
it out.
knitting type shit. I heard that wrong, but $2,000 for a season.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a commitment that you're putting your child in. Obviously, bro, I've always been into sports, so it wasn't
Yeah.
like a question if I was gonna like it or not.
Yeah, 100%.
But it was just like, not only the $2,000, but like I said, I've played 6 games in a weekend, so that means you have to show up in Danvers at 7 in the morning on a Saturday and Sunday. You have to show up for practice once or twice a week in Danvers, which is an hour away from us. So like, my parents made that commitment, and I, bro, I'm so like thankful for that. Ryan Whitaker, our coach, is the one that put me on with that team. But the whole thing is like, I ended up getting a discount because I played well. You know,
Yeah.
They wanted to retain me. The way that AAU baseball is now, it's all just it's a money grab.
Yeah.
They're poaching people, bro. They're like going after like parents.
No, it's true, yo.
No, but what AAU is meant for kids like me who knew that they wanted to play baseball. Like
Yeah.
they love
It's a
baseball.
develop-
But
your
it was.
skills.
But it was
And
also a
become
more
better.
competitive
Right.
atmosphere.
Dude, it was nuts. It was insane, and it taught me how to treat the game differently. Like, you know, practice how you play, or, you know, the way that you put on your belt is like, it means a lot more than just like
Are you
these
saying
kids
it's
now.
more like a bidding situation where it's like parents, you paying well, your son can play?
Nowadays, yes,
Okay.
absolutely, 100%. And you know, I played with a small team. I played with the team in their first year, but I was playing against teams that have already been established and shit like that. So like, you know, you see like, I don't know. I
The
know
leverage that money has is what you're speaking.
it's crazy, bro, because they're not even a team anymore because they couldn't afford it, and it might be because of the business aspect, like how they did shit. But like,
It's kind of sucks that AAU is now business run though. Like I feel like that's something that you deal with at a higher level of sports. You know, when you make it to the pros is where business really fucks up business is first. But
yeah,
I feel like at AAU that should not be an issue. But
it's
Yeah,
about the
think about
development,
like
though.
like
Yeah.
you have a team of like 13 or 15. That sound about right?
Yeah. No, it was like 15.
So like nowadays, parents are paying like 5. Times
crazy,
15.
They don't even know that their kid wants to play or
put
not.
that
Yeah.
shit in your
You know?
raw
Times
hire
15.
rate.
Now
Yeah,
you're looking at
that's-
I don't
75K
know
for that
about
season.
this economy though.
Parents from Cambridge.
But let me transition real quick.
Yeah.
Let me just know a little bit more about I feel like Murph can agree, you can agree, I can agree. Like growing up, like sports was kind of like our identity. You know, we grew up like loving sports.
Still is.
It's pretty apparent after
Yeah.
the words that I've spoken.
Like
but
you
yeah,
got
no.
Drake May on, you got Drake May on, we got
Yeah.
Pats on. Like we're sports fanatics, you know. And as a kid growing up, that's kind of like you find your niche and you stick to it. You
Right.
know. So coming off of high school, you graduate, you're kind of dipping your feet into the real world. Like, what was that like as an identity thing? Like, I could speak on it, Murph could speak on it, but I
Yeah.
want to know for you. Like, you're a big athlete, you know, you love that sports and all that good stuff. Like, what was it like going into the real world?
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro.
Keep it a bean.
This shit sucks, bro.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you exactly why, right? And I hate to blame it on a worldwide pandemic, but like I graduated. I mean, it's kind of the tale of my story. I mean, I graduated high school in 19, so that means I'm going to college that fall, and the coronavirus popped up in December, came to us in March, and I'll never forget the day I was in class. My history teacher was like, "Yeah, we're not going to be having class anymore. So this is just over." But like
safety.
after that, what happened is like I had a meeting in the gym with the baseball team for Bunker Hill. That's where I was at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember the AD just like looking at all of us and saying like, yeah, we're not going to play baseball this year. And we're also not going to play next year. I'm like, what are you talking, like, how are you going to call it before,
How are you going to, yeah.
You know, and that kind of, it threw me off. I'm not saying that's why I made the decisions I made, but like, because ultimately, like, they didn't have a season. Because it was bad. Like, she called it right.
Yeah, Corona is some crazy shit, bro.
But like, you know, that definitely had like an effect on my, you know, my path from there. Because what I wanted to do was play baseball there, go to school, be productive, and then transfer.
Mm-hmm.
And I milked that ticket, and I probably shouldn't have, but you know, I don't know. The thing is like, my whole thing in life is like figuring out what you want to do. That should be the same for everyone else. It's not the easiest thing to do.
Hell no, especially for the rest of your life.
Right, but you know, shit changes, of course. But you know, I think that's the biggest anxiety out of, you know, the college kid or someone fresh out of high school is like, what the fuck am I gonna do with myself?
All that pressure on you too.
You know,
it's a lot of pressure and a lot less support. Like coming out of high school, you have a lot of support from teachers, and then you go into college or whatever you want to do. There's a lot less support and a lot more independency. Like,
you got to figure this out. We're in the middle of a pandemic, so I'm like, I don't know what I want to do right now.
Shout out to everybody who went through the pandemic, man. That shit was not easy. For anybody at any age, any career standpoint, like, you had to take that pivot.
We're going to be telling our kids about this shit when we're older, and they're going to be like, shut the fuck up.
Like this weak-ass flu.
Bro, the only good thing about the virus is, like, some of the guys that have kids, like, that I work with, like, they talk about how much money they were making on those checks.
Oh,
they were like, but they were catching like 4K a week.
Sometimes I wished I invested into the what was it, PPP?
What?
Some people was doing some freaky shit on the side with the PPP
loan.
I don't know. People that I don't know. Like, I'm glad I did it because I don't want to get my name tarnished. But
all banks tap in.
All banks.
Yeah, you got Chime. But no, dude, it's been a journey, and I'm 23, about to turn 24 in a month, and
yes, sir.
You know, I'm transitioning into a whole nother avenue now. I mean, the thing is that you can't be afraid of opportunity, and that's kind of like what I've always looked at. You got to keep your options open. You got to talk to the right people. You got to have the right connections. You can't be afraid to do something new, and that's what I've learned from the pandemic, because it's just something that it created for people. It's like people got too complacent in like their situation of not leaving the house, you know, working from home. I think people should work from home, though. Don't get me wrong.
Working from home has like its positives. It's cool,
I'm jealous.
bro.
I can't do it. I have to go outside.
But think about the mindset that you're gonna create of like,
just the comfort.
You just gotta, but like, then you really don't leave the house. Yeah. Like, you leave the house to grocery shop and stuff like that.
But that's not society. Society shouldn't be, you know.
Shit's not it. You should be able to socialize every day.
But people our age, you should be outside and talking to humans, like not just talking.
And that's what I missed
through the computer.
Like, yeah, dude, Zoom college was fucking weird, bro.
It was not.
I've been getting some crazy memories, bro. I used to film kids just saying crazy shit.
I got Snapchat memories.
I'm like, yo, this kid's a tweaker, bro. Why is he even talking right now?
Bro, like chilling in their PJs, wilding out.
I definitely got memories saved on Snapchat.
Not gonna lie, talking about that COVID and that weird situation. I just got a quick little quote for you guys, but I feel like COVID fucked us all up. You know, it forced us to take decisions we were never expecting. I think that's what life is. But when you're going through life, or a hard time, don't think about what you're gonna gain after this, like materialistically, but think about it like who you become after. You know, don't think about like, hey, if I do this hard work, I'll get some money. Think about, hey, if I face my fears, I'll become fearless in this area. Right. You know, so just focus on who you become and stop focusing on the materialistic things a little bit.
It's true.
And recently we've been having some March Madness stuff going on, man. Like,
let's get into the sports talk now.
It's getting a little weird.
Stop talking about me, bro. I don't want to talk about sports.
But we love you. Oh, we love you. I know. We love to have O on this show, man. But March Madness has been weird. I mean, the first time, not the first time, but one of the most recent times. I think it's the second time, right?
Second time, yeah.
All four first seeds make it to the Final Four.
Since 2008.
So, ooh, look at that pull.
I could tell you the
So
team
now,
names too, but-
my question for you guys is, I think Loyola. What was that last team that went on a crazy?
Florida Atlantic.
Yeah. So does is
not-
Florida Gulf Coast.
Florida Gulf
You
Coast?
remember that? Oh no, the
Not-
crazy run. Like
Who was last year's crazy run? It was like a 16th seed.
they beat a 1 seed.
I think so.
Or I think they made it to like the sweet.
They made it
the
to
final, the 8 or the
the
final
Elite Eight.
4. One or the other. But regardless of that,
They were a red team.
Last year.
It was last year or 2 years ago. Yeah.
is NIL messing up Cinderella stories?
I mean, when you, because that's what you're asking, right?
Yes, sir.
Because I have a lot to say about NIL, but I will say if there's one thing that it fucked up this year is that it fucked up that, and the reason being is that when you have big programs that can just throw money at kids who are younger than 22 most of the time, and I'm speaking from like how I would see it at that. I mean, I'm pretty much around the age, but like, dude, if you're getting $1 million thrown at you to transfer to a high level program, I mean,
Safety.
shit. I mean, I'm looking at even the women too, bro. Like they're gonna make, even if they go to the WNBA, right? They're gonna make 700 or 700. Take away a zero.
Yeah. Let's settle down.
70K a year, right? But they can get $1 million in an NIL deal. Like homegirl from Notre Dame.
The
goggles.
Afro.
Yeah. She's gonna make $1 million in NIL deals instead of going to the draft. So
Well,
like,
she already said that she's hitting the portal. She's staying in college.
'cause she's shopping her options.
But and she was like I think the second or third ranked player coming out of ball this year.
I think, you know what's funny is that I don't know if you guys remember Miss Brisk from high school.
That name sounds super familiar.
She's like the media teacher, whatever. We used to.
Oh my God! Yes, you have to walk across the street type shit.
Well, that was Miss Noon or Miss Ann, whatever. They're
Low
same. Well, yeah, that was the one that I know that you're talking about. But
Okay.
Miss Brisk she was at the first floor in the main building, but we did this panel in the other side, like across the street, like should college athletes get paid? And this was like fucking 5-6 years ago now. And at the time, I was like, yeah, bro, like, of course they should have a certain hourly wage for the time that they put in. They earn it. It's crazy to me to see where we're at now, right? There's no regulation. There's no, like, it's just, people are just handing money to people. And what happens is that those smaller programs are going to be affected by that because they don't have enough money to.
Well, there's
put
no
players
backing. There's no
there.
funding.
Right, but you can look on paper and see an Arkansas versus a Robert Morris.
Yeah.
Who's gonna have more money to pay guys to come, and what are guys gonna want? That's what it comes down to, and this is what Rick Pitino got in trouble for back in, what was that 2013 or whatever?
Because he had his
it was more about prostitutes and shit like
Well,
that.
well
but-
that's because they had. Well, they also
Yeah.
speaking of 13 and Patino, they had the Natty pulled.
yeah,
They
they're
won the Natty.
only program.
They
to
had
have
the,
that.
they won the Natty that year, and they stripped him
It's
with the title.
ridiculous. Rick Pitino, I have to say, it might be an unpopular take. I know we're on borderline takes.
Yeah,
right
we on
now.
borderline take, so make that take, twin. Make that take.
I think Rick Pitino is top 3 college coaches of all time. 100%. And
Name your 3. Obviously, Coach K.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Mike
it's got to be.
Krzyzewski.
It's
So who's
gotta
your
be-
third?
I mean, this might be old school, but like John Wooden, like
That's a pull.
I mean, he created triangle ball, and it's hard not to mention him. I know it's so far away, but like,
Yeah.
because you have honorable mentions like Calipari and Bill Self and the whole bunch. But if you really look at it, it's gonna be Wooden, and God, fuck, I forgot about Calhoun, bro. Fuck.
No, I think that 3 that you made was valid though.
Wooden, Coach K, and
Patino.
Patino. I think that's, I don't know. But, yeah, he had his whole thing with NIL in his own
Patino was at Prov,
way.
you know?
He was at Prov.
Provi, and then
Coached the Celtics.
coached the Celtics, and then went to Louisville.
Yeah. He coached somewhere else, too. I can't remember off the top of
It's
my head.
crazy, bro. You think of the Celtics team, Patino?
Yeah, I would have never. I think of Red Auerbach, Doc Rivers, and Brad Stevens. Like I don't think of a Patino era. Not gonna lie, but
You don't think of Joe Mazzulla?
It was an ugly time.
Joe's still working. You know, he's finishing up. I'm talking about like people who've done their time. But
Yeah.
speaking of eras, we're in a new era with Cooper Flagg and Duke.
Oof.
Cooper Flagg's doing his thing in this March Madness. He's currently averaging 19.5 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, and damn near 2 blocks a game. His impact is insane in the games. I mean, it kind of feels like I'm undermining him by reading these stats, but my popular take to ask you two fellas is, do you think Cooper Flagg has the opportunity to become the best Duke player of all time?
If he wins,
100%.
yes.
Yeah, I think he's already got it, kind of, right now, just the slightest bit. If he gets a Duke title, it's undisputed. You know, no questions asked. Best Duke player of all time. I mean, bro, the stats speak for themselves. Like,
Yeah.
You don't see this out of a freshman who should be a senior in high school.
Yeah, he reclassed.
And like this is and you know what's funny is I've had people telling me about this kid for years, 2-3 years. They've been watching him, and I'm like, all right, bro, he's young, but like now I see it, and he's playing ball on both sides of the ball. You know, like he's playing defense and offense. So it's just hard to argue with it. I don't know. I mean, if you can name a better Duke player, I know a couple. I would say Grant Hill.
Grant Hill's up there.
Christian
And-
Laettner.
Christian Laettner.
I hate
But did he ever
Christian
win?
Laettner?
At
Laettner
Duke?
just has a very infamous shot.
He
Against
does.
Kentucky, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He has a whole 30 for 30 for that.
What about you, Murph? You think he's in position to?
Only if he wins the Natty this year.
If he doesn't, he's not even in contention.
He'll be top 3.
Okay, that's valid.
It's all about winning though in college.
It is.
But it's the toughest.
Did you make a bracket?
I did.
Who do you have
Who you
winning?
got winning?
Dude, what did I just tell you? I love Rick Pitino. Like
You had
Good St. John's?
I had St. John's. But, you know, that's
That's a valid take though.
No,
Prior
but
to the
it's-
March Madness, they was cooking.
it's lack of ball knowledge, I'll call it. Because, you know, I don't keep up with college basketball throughout the season.
I don't either. It's just
Yeah.
March
And,
Madness.
you know,
I tune
I'll
into.
say this about NIL is that, so my mom does a bracket every year, right?
Fire.
And she's like always the craziest like nonsense bracket out of me, my dad, and my brother, right? This year, she had her worst bracket of all time.
Who did she have winning it all?
Doesn't matter. There's the number 1 seeds, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But that's
that's going back to the NIL.
We redid-
it
like-
tells me that there's something's off.
Yeah.
You know, something's not working.
Well, like think about it. AJ, what's his name? I don't know his last name.
Homeboy from Brockton.
Yeah, bro. He's going
going
to
to
BYU getting like 7 or 8 mil.
Yeah.
It's
for the
insane.
year.
It's insane
They
touching
made-
that money before
Yeah.
you touch the pros. Like
I-
I really don't blame
What do you
blame the
think?
guys though.
No, well that's kind of the tough part is like
Well, you can't blame the women either.
When I go
Right.
back to thinking
I get it
about
for the women.
I get the women.
But these
like
dudes, but if you're good enough at basketball or football, bro, you're
The-
gonna go
so
to the NFL or
they
the
were,
NBA. You're gonna make millions.
I saw the thing though that said if Cooper Flagg stays in college for a second year, he's potentially going to lose out on 135 million over his NBA career.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it.
But
I mean,
but you have to think about it. Like, if you're Cooper Flagg, are you gonna go to Utah or are you gonna go to Washington?
but every year is going to be the worst teams at the draft. So it's like you
Yeah, but
you've
who-
worked your whole life to make the main thing, so just do it.
I don't know. Like the
You don't
way
gotta stay there.
the
Like,
way Duke is backing Flagg though to stay. Like everyone knew Zion was going.
yeah,
Yeah, but there was no NIL yet.
You don't think he was getting paid?
nah, he was
Hell
definitely
yeah.
catching the
He was-
little
he
something
was
off the
getting
table.
paid.
Bro, this is what I'm saying though. Like Rick Pitino did NIL before NIL. It was just in a different form.
Yeah.
A little more
It's
discreet.
really like
Girls come
illegal.
in, yeah.
It's just like how Pete Rose bet on baseball before. Well, I guess that's a little different, but
That's so different.
yeah.
But let's keep it a
like,
buck though. Let's keep it a buck. That this type of money
Pete Rose should be in
under
the Hall of Fame. Though. I'm
money
just
under
saying
the
that.
table has always been a thing though. Like we've
Yeah.
heard it from pro players, retired players. Like they've always been getting
I
money
just
under
think
the
it's
Shady
getting
McCoy.
worse though. I think it's getting
Jeff
like
Teague, like Udonis Haslam. Like it's always been happening.
Brandon Jennings.
Exactly.
it's all about the money, but like the way that the money's getting thrown around.
It's
now,
ridiculous.
But hold
There's
on.
no control.
It's
Yeah,
just
sorry.
royalty though.
Speaking about money getting thrown around, we got our Pats
We got
gear
strippers
going
coming?
on.
What's up?
Not yet.
Chill.
Nah. We got shorties. We good guys. But speaking of money getting thrown around, the Pats have been lighting it the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just looking at from the outside in, I'm very excited just to even go to a Pats game this season. We have acquisitions that consist of Mike Vrabel, great coach, Stephon Diggs, Milton Williams. We got Hollins, Carlton Davis, even more pieces on the line. Like, I know, you prepared for this type of segment, but
It's my favorite one right
how
here.
do you guys
man.
feel about this new Patriots
excited.
era? Like, we're spending money on the offseason.
I'm excited because we get the full season to see what May is really capable of.
Yes.
You're gonna have Diggs come in like he's 31, but he still can put up 1,000-yard season.
100%.
He's gonna be the wide receiver one.
Murph saying that is a big deal. I have to say, I was not expecting you to say
Nah,
that.
I was pushing for Diggs,
I think
man.
Diggs
but
is
I
a
was
great
pushing
pick.
for DK first.
Yeah.
Them letting DK slide is crazy, but DK didn't want to come here.
Yeah.
I think DK is more of a problem than Diggs is. Diggs is a little more humbled. He's already been through it. He's torn his ACL. You got Metcalf. He's still young. He's nuts.
The-
bro.
so-
But Metcalf's coming off an injury last season that kind of
Yeah,
fucked
but
up his numbers.
He did, but he was still getting the stupid penalties, and
Yeah.
we're not
Yeah.
a team that should be compromising. Like,
We have no room
Yeah.
for those penalties.
yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing with DK is like, so he was like, nah,
He's so
I'm not
good,
going to
bro.
New England, and then went to a Steelers team that had no QB set in stone.
Yeah.
And he came out and said that he didn't want to play in the cold, and he wanted to play on the West Coast and for a contender.
I'm gonna keep
and
it a
goes to the
bean.
fucking Steelers.
What's in
Right.
Pittsburgh?
That's true.
I'm not gonna lie. What's really like? I'm not too knowledgeable on it.
Hines.
Paul Skeens.
Yeah. Yeah. That's about
Livy
it.
Dunn.
Well, how do you
Yeah.
how you feel about the Pats doing this? Spending this offseason, bro?
I mean, dude, when you see headlines of how much cap room they had, what was it, 170?
Somewhere around there, yeah.
Something like, bro, I mean,
And they still have 60.
they had something to do and they did it. And you know what? The thing is that we won't know the true, like, what happens out of this, we won't know until months from now, right?
Yeah.
But when you look at it right now, I will say, I mean, I can't be mad. You know, they beefed up the defense. They got
The defense is going to be a problem.
and so this is the one thing I'll say. My little note here. The new D-line coach, Clint McMillan, spent 4 years in Tennessee.
Look at that research, yo.
4 years in Tennessee under
He's choosing.
Vrabel, and he was a part of that 07 Florida team that had Tim Tebow, Pouncey, the center. What's his name?
I watched that
Maurice
documentary.
Maurice Pouncey.
Didn't they have a player
Aaron
that played for the Pats?
Hernandez.
Aaron Hernandez.
We had a linebacker that played for the Pats on that team.
Uh,
I can't remember his
Brendan
name.
Spikes.
Spikes. Oh my
was
God,
it
what a
Spikes?
pull.
Oh, that's a good pull.
That's a great pull.
Clip it. That's a great pull.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon Spikes.
Who was a dog.
That's one of my favorite linebackers.
His career, I felt like, I mean, ultimately,
it was
obviously,
overshadowed, I would say, by Mayo.
yeah. But he
He
didn't
was
didn't play for that long.
Yeah, he kind of just.
Did Spikes didn't win a Super Bowl with us?
I think he did.
I don't.
He went to the Bills after, right?
That sounds about right. I don't think he did. I think he lost to the Giants twice.
It's a shitty way to spend your career, huh? I have another question around that after, but we lost. So to my notes, I see that we lost Godchuk to the Saints.
Godchuk.
Godchuk.
Same shit.
Godchuk.
Same shit, different toilet.
But we added Tonga on a 1 year, $2 million deal.
Yep.
From the Cardinals.
Baby, you know, Williams. What's his first name? Homeboy. We lost Jonathan Jones, which is
I wanted to keep him,
yeah,
but he's also aging.
right.
We got rid of the aging stars like him and David Andrews.
Who did we replace him with? Though?
Harold
Carlton.
Landry.
Davis.
Oh, I'm bugging.
Carlton.
Davis.
I thought we was talking about the edge. My fault. My fault.
Well, I'm getting there.
All right, go ahead. Cook up.
We lost Dietrich Wise.
Did we trade him,
I think
or did he walk? He might have walked.
we either. I think he one of the.
He went to Washington.
God-
Washington.
That's what it was, and Godchuk went to the Saints.
We traded him though.
Yeah, and then Chase. What's homeboy's name? Chaseon? How do you say it?
Who? On the Pats?
Yeah. Some dude we picked up.
The
Looking
linebacker?
at my notes, I don't know how to pronounce names. That's the problem. Yes. Kalavon Chase. Okay, so we'll just save that. But we
It's
also
like
added-
a CLA apostrophe something.
CHAISSON. Chason.
Safety.
It's a crazy name.
Exactly. And then we got Landry. We also lost Bentley, which kind of hurt me. I didn't really like that. But I think they made a money move there.
Robert Spillane.
Getting there. We added Spillane, and then we added, on the offensive side, we got rid of Andrews and we got Bradbury. Which I think Bradbury is going to be, beneficial to what we're doing. But I don't know. I mean, from the,
We're still missing the left tackle.
We got Moses.
Is he a left or a right?
Doesn't matter. I don't give a
Yeah,
fuck
he's a
anymore.
vet.
No.
I don't give a fuck anymore. Put them wherever they want to play.
No,
if
bro.
they don't like it, then they go.
Bro. Because that's the problem. We've been doing
Right.
this for so long of just piecing the offensive line. The difference between a right tackle and a left tackle is so significant.
Yeah.
They're they're trained for their first step back on their right leg
That's valid.
to take on that rush.
It's true.
Everything moving from the right tackle to the left is in complete reverse of what they've been doing their whole life.
From arms to legs to the core, all that.
Especially a big man, too, You don't...
You need to protect Drake May at all costs.
Yeah.
Well, that's what it's going to come down to. Mm-hmm. And no holding, bro.
The holding
amount of
penalties
holding penalties
was
that I saw
ridiculous.
is ridiculous. They would be in the red zone, and it's like, hold on. Let me just get a holding penalty real quick before
Back us out.
We're on a
Put us at
drive, back-to-back
35.
holding,
Literally
and a punt.
5 plays, 60 yards, boom, holding penalty.
The other
Kills a drive.
the other thing before well, it would also happen when May was starting later in the year was they went run,
Oh yeah,
deep ball.
most predictable. Yeah,
Like we don't have a line for rush
right.
to run up the middle, run to the edge, nothing. And we had no deep threats.
But now we got space for Ramondre to cook. I mean, we got a
This
decent
is a
offense.
This is going to be a testing year for
I
him.
got a
Hunter
question
Henry.
for y'all though.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
What do we think about the wide receiver room right now? Because I want to talk about that.
I mean, we got
I think
Demario
it's kinda
Douglas,
full.
Kendrick
right now. We got to
Bourne.
get rid of someone.
Steph.
Who are we getting?
I think Booty might be on the way out.
Really?
Why?
I think he's too young to
That's
kick
a
him out.
borderline take right
That
there.
is
Either
a borderline
Booty,
take.
I mean, you could say Polk, but you spent a second round pick on him. This is a testing year for
Yeah.
him. This is like if you got it or not. Like
What,
if you
if
suck
have
this
hands
year,
or not?
But I
You're
feel like
gone.
he made the most plays. Like
Who?
Booty made a lot of good plays.
Dude, Booty. I have Booty at number 2 right now.
Like I would consider Kendrick Bourne money wise. Like we can make a move off of him.
I'll fucking cut his ass.
Kendrick Bourne,
I'll fucking cut
Kendrick
his ass.
Bourne,
I feel like you
He's-
could get some money
But
off of him.
he's.
is bigger
Oh,
than.
did he?
He had one good year. One decent
But we
year.
didn't bring him in here to
And
be the
he's
wide receiver
old,
one.
bro. But I know, but like, I'm putting. Damn, I do have Bourne over Pop right now. Damn, I didn't.
That's
know that.
crazy.
Pop's
That
another
is kinda
game
crazy.
changer.
I have
Pop is really
I mean,
good. I
Diggs,
love Pop.
Diggs slides into wide receiver one, no question.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Then I have Pop.
Like at the
Okay.
slot.
Yeah.
but in like a perfect world though, because I don't think anyone thought that Booty would be coming off of a gambling scandal and then becoming the number 1 offensive wide receiver.
But you also got to look at the room we had, like the wide receiver room we had.
But you're saying that Pop goes behind Booty in that situation, like.
Pop goes in front of him.
Pop has showed us more. He's shown
But
us
he
more.
didn't get the same amount of work as Booty though.
That is true.
You know,
That's very debatable.
I felt like Pop was more
Who's this guy
reliable.
throwing to? The highlight tapes so far.
Hunter Henry.
we haven't talked about it, but Matt Collins, he's gonna be a game changer for us.
He'd be all right.
He's my
On
number
the
5.
blocks, like
Number
a deep
5.
threat.
You have him at
I think
number
he's
5?
gonna sneak his. Huh?
You have him at number 5?
Yeah.
Who's your 4?
Pop.
I don't know
I
if you guys
Bourne
have
at
seen his
3.
clips, but Matt
I'm
Collins.
not sold on.
Matt Collins is a hell of a run blocker. Like when there's plays, especially on his Bills team that he just played on, like he's a hell of a blocker, bro. He's a big body.
He is.
He could touch somebody
He's
up
a-
and make a play happen.
You know what? You know what they should do? Huh?
I think Baker's out.
Yeah. No. He's the
problem
odd
was
man
like,
in the room.
yeah, but like in college, he was kind of nice. He didn't get any burn.
He'll be out the league in 4 years at the most.
Borderline
I'll say
take.
that. Calling it right now.
Yeah, until
Javon Baker.
watch. He's gonna go to another team.
Oh, he's gonna
And
be
start
a
chewing.
monster. Yeah, of course. I mean, that's the reason why things like that happen is because people like us sit here and talk about stuff,
Exactly.
and
Yeah,
then
make
shit
them-
just happens.
Yeah.
You know who's the worst of them all? Felger and Maz.
But
Don't get
fucking
me
hate them.
started.
let me help us pivot real quick. So when we're going to the off season. Pat's had a salivating off season. I mean, we did something we haven't done in a while. Other than the Pats, who do you guys think had the biggest impact in the off season?
Commanders, 100%.
We had the Seahawks adding
I'm not-
a little revamp with Darnold and Cup.
They lost their 2 top receivers.
Bears beef up their O-line, get a new
Who?
coach.
Seahawks?
Yeah. Well, they have Njigba,
Tyler
but
Lockett
like
and DK.
Lockett's still a
I'm
free
putting
agent.
I'm putting JSN over Lockett though.
Hell yeah. No question about that.
Rams
But
pick up Devontae Adams. Bills pick
Not
up
that's not a moving pick.
Bills pick up Joey Bosa and Josh Palmer. I mean, they've shown that they could live off a whole bunch of wide receiver threes.
wait, who got Josh?
The Bills. It's like they're just stacking up on
But
wide
but
receiver
still
threes.
they don't have.
That's their.
But they
their
lived off it.
specialty.
I mean,
they love it. They
yeah.
love doing that.
Yeah, but they also they lost.
Shakira is their number one receiver.
And then Jets pick up Justin Fields, which in my opinion I think
That
is
is
the biggest impact.
Major. I'm a big like Justin Fields advocate.
Same here.
Since he was in Chicago, he did not get a fair shot, and I think.
His fantasy numbers prove it. I ain't gonna lie.
I mean, I had him. I
me
mean,
too.
He was putting up. I guess that's why I'm biased,
Yeah.
but like, there's something about his game that needs a good coach.
Mm-hmm.
You put a really good coach next to him, like a dude. If he was in Dan Quinn's system, he'd be fine. Dan Quinn is like a defensive coach, but made Jaden Daniels work. If you put like a Justin Fields in there, or even put him in McVay's system, put him in
Yeah.
put him in Shanahan's system.
You're
Of
saying
course,
he's like a
every
good
quarterback.
system away from being that consistent QB1.
But I think he's getting cursed by going to the Jets. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
But they're switching up the
He
culture
signed
there.
there.
Yeah, but firing Saleh is like the stupidest shit I've ever seen in my life. But
Yeah. I think they were
We'll save it
panicking
at
to make
that.
a move, PR
Woody-
reasons.
Well, because
Woody Johnson.
they
Woody
couldn't.
Johnson doesn't like him.
They couldn't just get rid of Rodgers in the middle of the year.
And then we got Broncos picking up Evan Ingram. They stole damn near the heart of the 49ers defense with Greenlaw and Hufanga. And then Washington had themselves a nice little offseason. They pick up Debo Samuel, Laramie Tunsil, Kinlaw from the Jets, and then they took our own Dietrich Wise
And Jonathan
Yeah.
Jones.
and Jonathan Jones.
Did they get Jones?
Isn't that who he signed with?
I hope so.
My
Yeah.
take on it is, I'm not a believer at all. I think
run it.
that Darnold.
All cameras are running, right? I bet. Go ahead, Murph.
I think that like Darnold, he had his like a great opportunity in Minnesota, and then signed this for a quarterback like him. That's a massive deal, in my opinion. But I just think like you went from Minnesota to the Seahawks, lost your best receiver. Tyler Lockett's out. You have an aging Cup. Don't get me wrong. If Cup would have came to New England, I would have loved that. But would you take Cup? Cup, he's not coming off of an injury, but because he's ended the season. But would you have taken Cup or Diggs?
Dude, I think this is an easy one.
I'm low-key taking Cup.
Who had a season-ending injury, and who had like just intermediate injuries throughout the season, right? And that's what I look at first with the receiver. I need a guy that's not going to be hurt, every 4 games, right?
So he's going Diggs.
I'm a Diggs guy, bro. As much
Whoa, I thought you was going Cup, twin.
as bro, because it's
Are they the same age?
Triple crown.
Cup's 31.
That's cute.
They're both 31.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
Don't say that's cute. You know that shit was not. Yo, what? That shit was crazy.
Nah,
I mean, he was playing with Matt Stafford, who was a
He's-
QB who lives off the
Dude,
IQ.
5-yard passes, always money with
Yeah.
Stafford. It's gonna make a guy like Cup look good, but a guy like Puka, like who can do everything, he looks good because Stafford's a good quarterback.
You don't think Puka would be good on other teams?
I think he would. No, that's what I'm saying is like, the thing is with Cup is
He's a system guy.
he's good in the 5 yards, right? But right now, I don't trust like the deep threat or the explosive, component of his game because it's just not a. You can't really. I don't know. He's been hurt every year, bro.
Did you guys watch the presser on Diggs when he got the press conference?
No, but I saw a couple videos of him. He looked
behind the scenes?
Yeah, like I saw the signing, and then I saw him like pulling up, and you know.
I don't know. I feel like ever since the Buffalo situation, well, he had many situations, Minnesota,
Yeah.
Buffalo, like just
Yeah.
driving himself out.
Don't give us a situation in New England.
No,
please.
I think that like him going, I think it was a great experience for him to go to Houston with a young quarterback,
Yeah.
and then come here with a young quarterback. Like when he was sent to the
willing.
Bill, yeah,
Yeah.
like and like I think he knows this is his last big deal.
It's a humbling thing, and
Yeah.
for a guy like Diggs, bro, that says a lot. You know, for a guy
I
that's
watched-
willing to do it.
I watched
I'm
the
not
press
gonna lie, that is a
conference.
big step up because prior to him coming here, I feel like he's such a he's
a diva.
he's
He's a
stereotyped as the
Him-
diva.
him,
I mean,
DK, Pickens, who else? I have a list of divas in my
Motherfucking,
head.
but regardless, in his
AJ
deal,
Brown.
in his deal is a lot of
Top diva.
incentives.
Yeah.
Like it's not all guaranteed, so it does show some
What is
willingness
it,
to commit.
26 is guaranteed.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then he has another 60, like another 40 something to work on incentives. Like that shows willingness to work, you know.
Right. And
And he
that's
has
the
a lot
type of
to
deal
prove.
that you sign a guy who's 30. Like he, it's a
The-
three,
but the- so
it's a
the-
3-year deal, bro.
So
Like,
the
it's kinda
only
crazy.
downfall to his contract is he has 26 guaranteed, and you could cut him after this year and be on the hook for 26.
But if you make it through this year, then all ships have
And
sailed.
so there's a thing in his contract. I don't know what it exactly is. If he gets hurt, there's a way out for the Pats to walk off the deal, but not for Diggs. He doesn't have an opt. The team has an opt out.
He doesn't have a Bradley Beal kind of fucking contract.
Nah, his contract is
NFL is
crazy.
complicated, bro. With those.
The way that
contracts.
the NFL can move salaries
Yeah.
is
A lot
like
more leeway because it's not like owner pushing like how the MLB is or the NBA is.
well, the MLB is different because there's no salary cap.
Right.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. Speaking about like weird shit going on in the NFL, you know, we got like things that we don't really look forward to. I mean, we got Joe Milton being traded to the Cowboys for a
Unexpected.
5th round pick, and Patriots are also sending.
I got
a
some
7th.
shit to say about that.
Yeah, Murphy, let me know how you feeling, twin, bro. Because I don't know. I thought it was a little.
So this
cheapskate.
was my take on it, and I was talking to Gabe earlier about it. Well, this was actually his take, so I'm
Shout
not
out Gabe. We
I'm
need
not
you on
taking
the
credit
pod
for it.
soon,
Shout out
twin.
Gabe.
But I did pass this take along to coworkers and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Kraft is like, he's still gonna be the reason to blame in everything, just based on the fact that he kept Elliott Wolf. Like
as a GM.
as a GM,
Yeah.
when you bring in Mike Vrabel, you clean house
Yeah.
from the top down.
Let me ask you this: who's making the decisions then?
I think that was Elliott Wolf and Kraft. That's not Vrabel.
Kraft's not too busy getting tugs.
And in the crazy take from Gabe was Jerry Jones probably sent them some good,
I was gonna say he not too busy getting some tugs.
But so the other reason why I look at Kraft in this situation is what has Kraft been bitching about for the last 3 years? The Hall of Fame.
We have to beef up our defense.
No.
Yeah.
I'm going in the direction of the Hall of Fame. And who is keeping Kraft?
He low-key pro that imitation though. He pro that shit.
Well,
The
'cause-
hunchback.
Because Kraft is always drizzed.
Yeah.
He's old.
But
He's
no, but he's drizzed. He's drizzed. Like when you at the Super Bowls and shit, when he's talking, I'm like, get off the stage, bro.
Nah, he
Like,
really-
please. It's
shout out
cringe.
to
Like when Joe
Tom.
Biden used to step up.
Tommy.
Talk.
Shout out Joe Byron. Bing bong. Fuck your life.
No, but
Fuck Trump.
like,
Sorry.
so Kraft's been bitching like the last 3 years that he's not in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Who is keeping him out of the Hall of Fame?
Himself.
Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones gets the vote on that.
Why?
Yeah, because it's America's team. It's the popularity behind the
No,
Dallas
but
Cowboys, but
but
they haven't
wh-
done shit.
But
to
like,
prove it.
why did the Pats take the Cowboys deal when they had more on the table?
I think it might be a PR thing where they're trying to let Joe Milton do his thing.
I think there's more to that.
Is this a conspiracy that you're pulling up?
I am. I am, bro,
Oh,
because
it's a
because yo,
conspiracy.
Kraft's been bitching for years now about the Hall of Fame, and Jerry Jones and Kraft don't see eye to eye. They don't like each other. And then you pull this deal.
Dick to dick.
That was crazy. I mean, it works like that when you bring in the same prostitutes, you know.
Yeah, right. You get
Nah,
the hookup
but
on the rubbing tub.
but I think like he sent Milton over there. Also, is Cooper Rush still there?
Gone
Nah, he just
on
left.
the Ravens.
Well, that's a good pickup for them.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
that's a solid
'Cause
backup.
they let go of Trey Lance too, which I have to say is probably the biggest bust since Johnny Manziel. I just want to say that
He
I'll
had
just
so
let
much
that be
hype around
known,
him.
But yeah,
Repeat that one more time.
I just want to say this for the camera, okay? Johnny Manziel was the biggest bust at one point in time, but then there was a person that was named Trey Lance that came around from North Dakota State, and all the hype was around him. He went. Did he go 2 or 3? I think it was
2.
He went top 3. That's all we gotta know.
Listen,
Who was it?
Top
What year was he drafted?
21, 22.
Trying to think of the QBs that were in there.
Listen, Trey Lance had a chance, but he's not good enough. But the thing is that when we're looking at hype compared to production, Trey Lance is on the same level, maybe a little less than Johnny Manziel, but he's the biggest since Johnny Manziel. That's all I'll say.
Biggest bust.
Bust.
Manziel his story's crazy.
It's kind of fucked.
I love watching like the videos when he's on the golf course, and like he speaks on his past.
Who, Johnny?
Johnny,
Dude, he's
a
an
pure
open-
entertainer.
You know what? I'll say this. I feel like I'm blessed to have him as an open book. Because it provides
his
so
story?
much. Yeah, and I've learned a lot about, like, you know, him being on Shannon Sharp's podcast. I've seen the golf ones, too. Like, he's just an open book, bro. And it's like...
So much clarity.
Yeah, exactly.
But that was
And
probably
it's-
him maturing.
Dude, but most people don't... Like, when people go through shit like that, they don't want to
They
get
don't
on
speak on
camera.
it.
They
And
don't
also
wanna-
keep it a beam when you're in his situation, his
Yeah.
college situation. Like he was up,
Dude, he was
was,
literally
like-
God. He
He was
Oh,
God.
God.
Texas A&M.
bro. Like,
They beat Alabama.
but to have that clarity that he goes back and digs deep into where
Right.
he messed up at and where he should have
I have
been.
a lot of props for that dude, bro. Like,
yeah.
he's...
Shout out to Johnny Manziel, man.
no
He was
bullshit.
also-
I hope he sees this.
He was put
He
in
will.
a very unfortunate situation though with Cleveland.
Dude, anyone that gets drafted by the Browns is set up
Browns
for...
and the Jets. It's like you're done.
Miles
you're
Garrett would
fucked.
have left, but they threw him $300 million. So
Yeah, he's like,
I'm gonna fuck
shit.
around.
But
It's not too bad here. You feel me? Like,
he literally
it's
changed-
Cleveland,
Yeah,
you know.
He changed for the bag. I mean,
Yeah.
but
Miles
who
Garrett
wouldn't?
is still productive, though.
Oh no, it's nothing against his game. It's more of like
where he's at.
him
Yeah.
pretty much saying "fuck the Browns" organization, and a week later he signs a $300 million deal.
Right.
He's like, it's closed. Like I'm not coming back. Oh, but here's 300. All right, I could.
I mean, like I could chill here for a couple more years.
Do you think other teams would have given him that?
Fuck no. 300,
It's a lot of money.
Is that how much he signed? Was it 300? It was 325. No.
bro.
a
Like
lot of money,
300
bro.
game? Safety,
Wait,
yo.
are we talking about the same franchise that gave someone with 27 different sexual assault cases 300 something?
Fully. No, two.
fully-
It was 260 fully guaranteed.
Guaranteed, right?
Now they're
The first
scrambling.
fully guaranteed contract in NFL history, the biggest. We're talking about the same franchise, right?
Yep.
Poverty.
And now
Some
they're
poverty
scrambling
behavior.
for a QB.
Poverty behavior.
Well,
They've
they're-
been
well,
scrambling for
they still have
years,
Deshaun
bro.
Watson.
They have Deshaun Watson, but they're also in a decent position in this draft to get a quarterback. It
You're
might
talking
not be
about the
Cam
guy that
Ward
just tore his Achilles, right?
again.
Yeah.
And again.
Yeah. And this time it wasn't even playing.
Yeah.
But
Fucking
Hanging
doing the
out with
dishes.
women. Yeah,
God
like
forbid. But switching from the NFL, we love it. I mean, it's amazing because the games are so limited. There's much more, purpose to the games. I mean, well, you got
Yeah.
18 games in a week. And then
Well, how about before we leave that? How about Roger Goodell making like 60 a year?
he makes 60.
Bro, you see the
it makes
post?
sense though?
Nah, fuck him.
Compared to
fuck
all
that.
No,
Fuck
but compared
that,
to
though.
all
Yo, the
other
NHL, the
How
NHL
much,
commissioner,
how much does Manafort make?
bro. But
how
keep
much
it a
does
beat.
Adam
Wait,
Silver
I got
make?
something
10.
to say. Keep
Really?
It a beat.
and the NHL I think makes 6.
Wait, Adam Silver makes 10
He makes
a
10 a
year.
year.
Makes 10.
Do you know how much more money he could make?
Yeah.
Bro, but it's the oversaturation of the games. Like you have 82
Think
games
about how
in the season.
yeah, but Pete
listen,
though,
listen, you
you
got
bring
No, I
in so
get
much
that.
more money. The
you
NFL
lose
does too though.
interest
I
in
get
the
that.
Fans. Like the NFL has 18 games in a regular season, and then you got the play. Like it's just
Well, they live off of like broadcasting deals.
all right. Ready? Keep it a bean. You got Nike, right? We wear Nike
Yeah.
every day. It's cool. It's a little cheaper, but then you got Louis Vuitton and Gucci. They produce
Right.
much less work, but it's like supposedly higher value because they have less. I just think about it like that. Like NFL has way less games to broadcast, so there's more value to those games. NBA has so many more games. MLB has a fuck ton of games.
What does that have to do with Roger Goodell, though?
But it's anticipation. It's like
It's how much they're bringing in as a company.
I don't know.
Like broadcast deals are worth more. Local deals are worth more.
Yeah.
Merch is worth more. Like there's less games to go to.
The local deals are getting
But he should
spooky,
not
though.
be. He should not be making $60 million a year.
for
No.
sure. But it makes sense that he's
And
first.
I have another hot take, and I'll just drop this real quick. I think the NFL is the most rigged game in any of our sports.
Ooh.
And I think the NBA is pretty rigged, but I think the NFL is like.
I ain't gonna lie. There's a lot of 4th and 1s that should have been called first downs. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie.
They don't even bring out the chains anymore.
The game we went to.
The fuck?
Yeah, there's a lot of 4th. I mean, we was all the way at the top. Like, yo, that's the first. I swear to
Nah.
God, that's the first.
I saw him cross.
No, they showed the replay on the jumbotron. He was
Andre, right?
over. No, I think it was.
Hunter?
Might have been.
Gibson?
Bro, he fully crossed the line and they had him down short. We challenged. They brought it back and they said he didn't get the first. And then we lost that game. And that was when. But we had the ball. That was when Mac Jones was playing.
Oh God! Don't say those.
Bro, I went
two
to his
words,
first game.
Bro. I don't want to hear that.
I went to his
What
first
10
game
are
in
you
Gillette.
wearing right now? Tell me.
I'm not. Show it, Twin. Is that
What's
Mac?
up? What's up?
It's Mayday.
Mayday, baby.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Mac Jones is like post nut clarity. I ain't gonna lie. That shit is like
Yeah, no bullshit.
we had good ideas coming into it, and after we're like, I don't want to forget about it.
Who wakes up in the morning and says, "I'm gonna draft an Alabama quarterback," unless it's fucking Jalen Hurts or Tua.
Yeah,
Who's still a fraud.
Fucking Sean McElroy or
Tua can't play in the cold.
He
There's
sucks.
stats on it. Too.
I think Tua
proven.
sucks.
But pivoting away from the
yes,
NFL,
I agree.
let's get to the NBA. I mean, we're back at home.
Okay.
Where the Celtics, we're looking sharp coming into the offs. Everybody's looking
Think so?
healthy. I mean, we just lost a 9-game streak to the Miami dog shit Heat. I can't wait. If they play us in the playoffs, I'd love to. But
9-game streak's better than
The
a
only
1-game
way-
loss.
yeah.
The only way we play Miami is if they run the gauntlet and we meet them in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Regardless, though, we're looking sharp. How do you guys feel about the Celtics, boys?
I would say, I think they learned something from last year, right? Is that longevity is about rest, right? You got to be strategic about how you rest people, how you take care of KP, how you take care of Al. And Al's taking, bro, I don't know.
I was just gonna cut you off. Like Al is the definition of longevity.
Al is everything, bro. And
Yeah.
like you can ask me, you can ask Gooch, you can ask anyone, bro. Like Al is the heart and soul of our team, and for 3 years now, I've been pondering, like, what are we gonna do without Al? And that's kind of like it's like your girlfriend's going to college, and you're like, fuck
that.
I gotta make a decision, bro.
going to different
Do I
schools.
cut
We're
her
committed
off?
somewhere else.
Or do I stick with it? But like Al's deal's up. Is that it's after
Well, he
this
signed
year?
a 1-year deal. Wow, the voice crack was crazy.
But me and Murph talked about it. We was
Wait,
talking
he signed
about,
a 1 year?
I think he only signed a 1 year. It might have been a 2, but it's expiring after this year.
We
After
talked
this year,
about
right?
it though. Like after this championship, Al should have rode off in the sunset. Like
He could have.
Yeah, but-
that was his chance. That
but
was
think
his
about
chance.
it.
But if
Think-
he can still play, then he can still
We
play.
kept-
I mean, he's showing it. He can still.
he looks
fucking
fine.
play.
he looks good to
just-
me.
We kept the whole core together. If
Yeah.
I'm him, like you play every other game
Yeah.
on back-to-backs.
Sounds nice.
It sounds nice.
Sounds fucking
He deserves
sweet,
it, though, after
honestly.
You're still
Yeah.
playing with KP,
Yeah.
Drew Holiday, Derek White.
His role isn't going to change.
Exactly.
My whole big thing, and I'll say this right now, and we'll get into this, but like, it comes down to a decision in the offseason, like in the summer. Are we going to keep KP or are we going to keep Drew?
No, you know who the guy that I
That's
think's
what
on
it
the
comes
out.
down to. And I
don't
hate
wanna
to
even
say
think
it,
about it like that.
but like, when you look at the money,
A second
good.
apron.
I want to
Right.
add on. I want to add on to this.
second April.
Do you have stats to this?
No, but I know him. What's up?
Nah. So the guys that I think are on the out are gonna be Holiday.
30 mil next year.
And this is my reasoning behind it. And there's a couple players. You draft Baylor Shireman.
great pick. He
Hauser's
looks great.
Hauser's walking. We're not paying Hauser.
Why we have to pay him? He's off his deal. Like
He's gonna be.
I think he's like the next V. Like Svi Mihailu came up for his contract and we let him walk. But Sam Hauser.
No, but because of the second apron, whatever deal we sign him to is his deal is gonna hit the apron as if it was an $80 million deal. We just got a new owner who just pays 6.1, which that's controversial because
billion.
he doesn't even have 6.1 to be given.
Well, let's keep it a bean. Shout out to the new owner. Keep us together. Don't fuck it up money wise.
He's hometown.
Give me some Wick behaviors, please.
Yeah.
Well, the good thing is
some Wick behaviors.
Yo, 100%.
The good thing about Wick though is he's here till 2028, 2029.
Because he doesn't want to leave, but you know what happened? His wife told him, she was like, "Yo, listen.
And I think it was his pops.
This is something that you gotta take on with yourself, and you have to make your money while it's prime."
Keep it a bean though.
They just won a
Investing into a
championship.
team is an investment. Like the money's only gonna grow.
They're the most expensive franchise in all of sports.
Are they really?
6.1 billion.
I thought
In
it was
all
the-
of sports, the
I thought it was
Cowboys,
No cap.
Cowgirls. Yes, they are, bro. They're over 10 bill.
What?
I swear to God.
But if they sold them right now, it wouldn't be that.
Shout out the Cowgirls.
Might be. Bro,
I don't know.
to get America's team, that's gonna cost.
Do they have that trademarked?
I wouldn't put it past them.
They would be fucking stupid.
Think about it though.
Let's keep it a
Even
bean. We should be America's team. I mean, like, come on.
I mean, we should be America's
of this
greatest
modern
sports
day.
city. We should
all
should
time, yeah.
franchise
Yo,
that.
wait. Going completely off script. Completely. Yo, this shit just got me buzzing. Ready?
Okay.
We got New York. We got LA. We got Philly. We got Florida, Texas. All those.
It's always fuck Philly.
cool. Who is
Murph
the
does
city
not
of
like
champions?
It's us. There's no other question.
There's
But like,
no
take your bias out of the. Who's the
but-
city of
but
champions?
If you're
Put the
looking
titles up
in,
to it.
bro, we won in a span. No, it's just crazy to think about. Like, and from 2010 till 2020, each of our major franchises won a championship.
And that's before the Bill Russell era where he was
And
dicking.
I'm not even talking about the 3 Super Bowls that Tom Brady won before.
Yep.
You know,
And the Red Sox.
you had the Bruins win in 2011. You had the Red Sox and the
The Pats win in 14.
we'll call it 13, 14.
13, 14.
Yeah. 16, 18. God bless, dude. Shout out the Pats, bro. So many great memories. Oh,
So many times leaving
Well,
high
not
school,
even,
you go
bro.
to the
18,
parade,
you're forgetting
feel
about
me?
the Sox again.
well, that's
And
Wait,
and the
no,
Bruins.
No, don't say
Fucking
it. Don't say it. I don't
Bruins,
want to
yo.
hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear
Fucking
it.
Bruins, yo.
Game 7.
We would have had,
Greatest season
bro.
that we
Game
fucked up?
7
No.
against the Blues. Game 7
At
against the
home
Blues.
in the Garden.
What was that? 22?
No, that was
18,
That was 18.
bro.
Our greatest year was 23.
They could have.
We
They
had-
could have.
we
We
were
had
started like
65,
19
bro. We,
too, right?
bro, we
Wait,
had
that was in-
65 wins.
Jesus Christ.
and then you know
And
what they
you
did after
choke a
that.
3-1.
You know what they did after that? Well, more
Did I
recently.
pull up on you for that game
Yes.
against the
That's where-
Carolina?
No, that was in Florida. That's when we lost in
Nah,
OT.
Carolina pissed me off too. We lost to them, right?
We lost to them.
That was,
was
the
that a year
after,
before?
or year before, or year
It
after?
was a year before.
2017.
But answer this with a yes or no. Is Boston the city of champions?
100%. And I have stats, and I have reasoning behind my. This
There's a method to the
is
madness.
a peer-reviewed type of thing right here.
And
all
is
right?
Boston the city of champions?
Yeah. Well, just
Dude, you're asking.
well, okay,
the
no, but
champion of
no, but
Boston.
this is my reasoning. This is
No,
my
he hasn't-
reasoning.
He hasn't like a whole.
No,
rebuttal.
yo, this is my reasoning. All of our big sports teams have always been in Boston. We have no other championship from a team that was in a different state. Like LA got championships from when they were in different cities.
Minneapolis. That's a very. That's an obscure take.
All
I
of
like
our
that.
all of our championships are in
Good
Boston.
Evidence. Look at this
Right?
evidence. This is good.
Fucking
Homegrown.
guy, yeah.
You do your DBQs, huh? That's what you did.
Right.
bit.
Well, let me pivot us real quick. So we're coming to the end of the NBA season. NBA is kind of at a weird point where stars are sitting. We got like big time teams kind of taking that step back, but we got 2 players in the run for the MVP.
Easy.
Now I'm gonna ask Omar and Brendan, who do you think should be the MVP? We got
Ask Brendan first.
we got SGA sitting at 32 points a game, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. To me, it's obvious. And then we got Jokic sitting at 29, 12, and 10, which is my MVP. How about for you guys?
Jokic.
Jokic, what about you?
Easy,
Bo?
bro. Easy. It's obviously Jokic, bro. There's no argument that can convince me otherwise.
And he's coming off a 61-point triple-double. Well, Westbrook...
Well, they lost.
You could throw that in the trash, bro.
And still
and
have
I would
a valid
still
take.
say, clear cut. When was? You know what? I'll let Leo say it. Listen, I have a lot to say about this because I've been hearing it a lot lately, and it's been pissing me off. Because SGA is not
A free throw merchant.
No, I'm gonna keep it a bean though.
I'll say that.
There's a lot of plays where people call SGA a free throw merchant. I agree, but there's some plays where the hands out, you rip through, that's a foul. Like dead dogs at the end of the day, at the midi, that's a foul. You can't have your hand there.
But my problem is that you're justifying like a certain situation that naturally happens in a basketball game, right? It's a foul, right? Tell me something different that he does. That tells you like, oh, he's the MVP.
One thing that would give me the edge for him being the MVP, similar to what Jokic has, the game is never sped up for him. He takes his sweet time.
They have a certain knack for the game. Yeah.
Luka, Jokic, Jay, like the game is never sped up for those kind of
It
players.
revolves around them.
So I wouldn't say that puts him over Jokic, but that puts him in the same.
Let me ask you this: do you think that the Thunder would be a playoff team without SGA?
Fuck no. Are you
Really?
crazy?
That was a headphone user.
Hell yeah. Headphone users, whatever the fuck y'all want to call it, hell no.
Caution.
Can I just say this though? You have, like, looking at the stats, 32, 5, and 6 from your point guard. From your center, you got 29, 12, and 10. How is your point guard getting 4 less assists a game when only scoring 3 more points than Jokic?
Well, so I'll say this. I'll play devil's advocate right here. Ready? Who has the ball in most plays?
Point guard.
If you're on the Nuggets.
Jokic.
Okay. So that's why he has more assists. Okay.
But you could say the same for SGA.
Right. Exactly. Okay. This is what I'm saying.
Let him roll.
Listen, you have a 7-footer that has been playing the same way for a consistency of what? Let's say 5 years, right? Only gets better each year, right? And he's averaging what? What were those averages again?
It's right there. 29, 12, and 10.
29, 12, and 10. And we're talking about a guy that's averaging 32 points. That's the way I see it, right?
Like, who has the bigger impact?
It's Jokic.
My point is that the Thunder are going to be a bubble team or play-in team, right?
No, they're not.
I mean, they're first seed, but playoffs.
Without SGA.
Okay, going to
yeah.
your question. Yeah. Okay, I can see
You
that.
You don't think
But
that?
you could keep it a bean, though. Like, if you,
Bro, the
with
Nuggets-
SGA, they kind
the
of match up
Nuggets-
well with us, as the Celtics.
Bro, the Nuggets would literally not even be a thought in the world, bro, without Jokic.
Yeah.
But you could say that about a lot of teams.
But what are we talking about?
No, but we're talking about MVP.
We're talking
SGA,
about most valuable player.
OKC
And
without
listen-
SGA is kind of a playoff team.
No, but
Nuggets
this is-
without Jokic.
No,
We could
but-
all agree that Jokic is MVP, though, right?
Yes, but we also, he has a championship DNA. He's won. He's proven
He's
it.
already done it. Like I don't
The other
know,
thing,
bro.
the other thing that really
There's
pisses
no
me
way.
off is the argument is how quickly the NBA switched up the argument for SGA, how he's the best player on the best team, so he should be MVP. There was no argument really from national coverage for Tatum last year, best player on the best
100%.
team,
At all.
I think he was
And-
what, 4th, 5th?
like he is this year.
Bro,
Yeah.
Tatum.
It's because he doesn't average 30,
Yeah.
which is bullshit,
But it
bro.
doesn't make sense to average 30 when you got Jalen Brown, KP,
You have to
Drew
I know,
Holiday,
but
There's
if
so
you,
Dwight.
many.
if you look at the numbers and you see how many games like each of these guys around him have missed, and Tatum has not missed a game.
Other than some fucked up ankle
Well,
rolls.
that's what put
Right.
him out of the scoring title a couple years ago. Not even. It might have been last year.
with him and Embiid. It was last year.
Embiid. It's because Embiid doesn't play, so his average was higher. But Tatum led the league in all scoring.
Like all
Your
per
points.
game was Embiid, but all time was in that
Tatum.
season was Tatum. Yeah.
So how do you go based off averages when guys miss time?
If Jokic averages a 30-point triple-double and he does not win MVP, I will never watch another NBA game in my life. I promise. Right here, right now. Borderline takes. Let's go. Handshake, covering it. We're good. All right.
I'm calling pure cap because I know you love sports too much.
Drew Holiday has
Shooting
made
threes.
more impactful plays in the playoffs this past year than KP.
No, he was more productive, yeah.
More impactful in the playoffs.
But who's
and
in the
who's been
playoffs?
more
No,
available?
but think about it. Think about it though.
Devil's advocate.
So-
who's been more
But
available?
who's been hurt more this year?
Mallet finger going stupid.
Well, he's been hurt.
You've been fucking around too much.
He's been hurt more, but I think he's played more games.
Who?
Holiday.
Yeah, because they fucking keep KP on the
KP
the
got
back
2
end.
flat tires.
But
he's burnt for $30 million a year. It's a lot. For both of them, they don't deserve $30 million a year.
I think KP deserves it more than Drew though. At his age.
Yeah, and I love Drew. I've always loved
it's
Drew.
the sake. Yo, it's bro. This is what the players voted on. With the Players Association.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, bro.
With the
Off
second
script.
apron and shit.
I'm so fucking glad we got O on this pod, nigga. Like the way this shit has been. This is our longest pod by far, and it has never been like.
But you know,
I
bro,
feel like I'm
say not though.
talking
I've
too
been
much,
telling
though.
you, a third person changes the game.
100.
It does.
The only reason.
No matter what. Even if it was me, if it was fucking
Anybody,
just a third.
Joe off the street, like, dude. I'm talking. I feel like
Joe
I'm
from
talking too
Wegmans,
much.
you feel me? Lock in,
go
twin.
Go and get the cashier at Wegmans, bro. Go and see what he's got to say about sports. I'm sure he'll have anything to say about Boston sports.
Alright.
I bet you his laptop looks like that too.
Yeah,
Murph's
my
laptop is
laptop's. Hold on, let me turn it upside
Dude,
down.
that is the most Murph
That's
laptop I've ever
Boston.
seen.
Yo,
617.
show the BLT
Yeah.
real quick.
617. You got Tom Brady on this somewhere.
Got fucking dunks.
See?
Larry Bird.
Oh,
Yeah.
If you know, you know. You're wicked schmack.
Yo,
Fuck,
you
you
know
kind of have
you
it,
know I almost
yeah.
got this tatted on me.
oh, dude, that's clean though. Wait, what's the O in the end?
That's the Globe,
Boston
Celtics,
Sox
Bruins,
for
the
O.
T, Red Sox.
Is that the North the
And the
North
Pats.
Stars?
That's
New
the
England
Pats.
Patriots.
They have a star in the end.
Before we move on to MLB, though.
Well, like in older logos.
Before we move on to MLB, I got a serious question for you fellas. Me and Murph have been working on a whole segment for this.
What we got?
I know Murph's opinion. I really want to know yours. Just give me a quick. Who's the GOAT? LeBron or Jordan?
Oh, God.
I'm putting you on the spot all the way,
I
bro.
was fucking worried about this fucking question.
You don't even got to go into depth.
Bullshit.
Just give me a quick little. Who you fuck with? LeBron or Jordan? Who is the GOAT of the NBA?
I think it goes back to what we were talking about earlier, right? Is that you can look at the stats and you can make a
See?
decision, right?
Now let him roll.
I'm going to let him roll.
See?
I mean, it's content, and I'll argue with you about it. But
LeBron fan getting pissed.
I know. You've been a LeBron fan, though. Like,
You know that,
bro.
though.
Bro,
Yo,
he had a
that-
Miami Heat jersey growing up.
I remember it.
I'm
wait,
like, this fucking Glazer.
6th grade.
was
had
the
that
black
shit on.
one?
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah. The thing is, bro, is you could look at all the stats, and there's something about LeBron that, dude, he's incredible. Like, he's a specimen. Like, he's never what he's doing right now and what he's done is never going to be matched. But the thing is that you can say the same for Jordan. And if you look at many different things, I mean, he three-peated, first of all. I mean, that's
Not
this
just
is like the
once.
first. That's like the.
Yeah.
He also retired and then came back and did that. So like,
Play professional
His
baseball.
retirement was questionable, but we can go ahead.
yeah. But if you retire from something, you come back and you win 3 of the best awards that you can in that certain thing. It's kind of.
All I gotta say is
It's
Jordan's
kind of
retirement
incredible.
looked kind of forced based off his gambling.
Well, yeah,
And-
no, there's context behind it, but the thing is that are we context warriors? Are we gonna look in between the?
We borderline takes. We not context warriors.
Are we reading in between the lines? Like, yes, we are. You know
So
what?
your goal is
So-
Michael Jordan.
I mean,
Yup.
it's hard to argue, bro. I think
That's I respect it.
I'm not gonna sit
I
here and
respect y'all's takes.
I'm not gonna
Nah,
sit
not
here.
the lefty, not the lefty.
I can't
That's
sit here and
fucking
argue
Union.
and act like LeBron isn't the most like incredible athlete that we've seen.
Bro, but it goes beyond athlete game.
Moving on to the MLB. Opening up, we got some Red Sox news, as most of you have probably heard, with Garrett Crochet's extension, Christian Campbell's extension, signing Alex Bregman. But you don't know. There's nothing against you. It's not a knock against you, but MLB is not your sport.
It is not, ladies and gentlemen.
I see that last bullet point. I'm ready.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
We'll get there. We'll get there. Open up with your question.
My question is, I mean, clearly we're coming off a great Red Sox game. You know, Rafael Devers got involved, other heads got involved. But coming into this early season, you know, looking at it as a Red Sox fan, is it another disappointing season for us, or is it just early season hiccups. Looking into it.
The thing is that no one in their right mind would have thought that. But last year, I was just there was something about that team that I loved. When I look at this season, right, I haven't seen the Red Sox spend this amount of money in years. I don't think they've ever done it.
They were 500 last
They
year.
were literally 500.
And I think that was back to back. I think 23 they were also 500. No, they were under it. Psh.
The thing is that they play in the toughest division of baseball, right?
Like your head.
But I don't know. There's some that you can't go wrong with buying things that make sense, right? So like you lock in, and we'll get to it, Garrett Crochet for his deal, whatever. You see what he did yesterday, bro.
Nasty work.
And it's just like you don't see a pitcher going 8 innings, allowing 3 hits or 4 hits, whatever, 1 walk, and getting a shutout. Like when does that happen in today's MLB? It doesn't, okay? So my whole thing is like, I'm not really like the biggest advocate on spending money and fixing your problems. But I think after last season, after them going 81-81 when no one in their right mind would expect that. You come this year and you have money to spend and you do it, like, I don't know, bro.
You like the Bregman signing?
I'm not crazy about it.
No?
He hit a home run today.
He did.
Right.
He hit a bomb.
The
the thing with him, though...
He hit a home run April 3rd.
Dude, he's 31, bro.
I know, but he's still a Gold Glover.
He is. And I think, so for years...
You also needed another big right bat.
Yeah, but we always need that. But we also let go of Tyler O'Neill, who we were playing against today. You know?
Who did nothing.
Right. But, I mean, we have so much outfield support, which is another thing we'll get into. But the greatest thing that this club has ever decided to do, and it doesn't look like it right now, because the guy that is 2 for fucking 25 right now is not doing well. I think, and I've been saying this for years, is you put Devers at the DH, you take him away from third base, he will become David Ortiz. I mean, that's just the way that I see it. It might be like, huge to say, but if all he has to focus on is batting, then, like, I don't know. I think that's the position we need him in. If we have a solid third baseman to fill in that role,
that's a clip
that can still hit. I mean, that's Bregman.
He's following the same career path as Ortiz, though. Ortiz started off playing the field with Minnesota.
I know. He was a first baseman from, 97 till what?
And he wasn't good in the field.
Dog shit,
And we can forever thank Pedro for getting Ortiz over here.
Who, Pedro Martinez?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He played one of the biggest roles of getting Ortiz to the Sox.
He's our pitcher, right?
Yeah.
Dude, Pedro's
One of the greatest of all time.
Pedro's one of my goats, bro.
The Christian Campbell signing, I love it.
Incredible. Incredible.
I don't know. I mean,
Dream come true. He's the new Mookie. That's all I'll say. But,
and their fault. So I'm gonna touch on Roman Anthony and Marcelo Meyer next, but you got Rafael locked up on a deal that's like, I don't know what he was thinking. I mean, $50 million from where he comes from is like
Curacao.
Generational.
It's generational.
Shout out Curacao, bro. That's a great island. Never been there. I know the capital. It's a great place.
I know the capital, so it has to be great.
Williamstead. Look it up. Look it up right now.
I'm not looking it up, bro. The Christian Campbell, it's like an upwards of $100 million, they said, I think. But
what do you mean by that?
Like his contract, over the 8 years, it could reach up to 100.
Little inflation on it. All right.
But for what he's been doing,
8 years, 60 mil, bro.
Yeah,
that's
it's a scam.
Fucking steal, bro.
It's a steal for us, but a scam for him.
You don't see that shit in any
bro,
other
I don't know
sport,
what he
though.
was thinking signing. I don't know what he was thinking signing that. I get he wanted the security of it, but you've played 7 games in the bigs. He could have played this year out, I mean, right now he's on a tear.
Dude, he hit a home run today and a double. I watched this home run and I was like, "Oh my god, this is not normal." It's not. The
first game was was
They're gonna
nerves.
find out.
The first game was nerves, and then after that, I mean, he had what was it 2 games ago or yesterday? Yesterday they had off, so 2 days ago he hit 2 doubles down the right field line. Today he had a homer and a double. He's speedy, great glove at second base.
And what hole is he fixing for us? Second base.
Yeah,
We've had a hole there for what?
you've been.
Since Pedroia, it's been weird, right?
It has.
So, what's the solution? You know, it's not going to be Vaughn Grissom. I'll tell you
Nah,
that
I don't
right
know
now.
where he's going.
I don't know what.
He was promising.
He's capable, but
He's-
he's not.
yeah.
He's not Christian Campbell.
No.
Christian Campbell can play anywhere in the outfield.
You know what the biggest hole I think the Sox are gonna have to fill is catcher. I'm not a Wong believer.
Really?
No.
Why not? Why? If you tell me why, I'll listen.
I don't know. I feel like
Are you not looking at his average or his like production with the bat?
that's mainly what it is.
You don't think he's good enough?
He's average
He's the
at
last.
best.
He's the last part of the Verdugo deal that we have.
I don't
Isn't that
know.
weird? It's kind of weird, but
You needed you needed to give a piece away for Crochet, and you needed to give Teal up because he was the 4th best out of the top 4 we had coming up in AAA.
who Teal?
Yeah.
He wasn't number one.
No, Roman Anthony was.
Oh well, you're saying overall.
Roman Anthony, you got Marcelo Meyer, Christian
but at
Campbell.
the catcher position,
Oh, he was number 1 for sure.
Yeah.
And he's a better hitter than Connor Wong.
is he a lefty or is he a righty? I can't even.
I don't know.
remember.
I've never
Either
watched
way.
him.
I mean, so
I like the kid we traded for. I mean he's 25. He's not a
Navarez?
kid. Navarez.
He is good.
He's
No, he
25.
played today. I saw him. I think his brother is Omar Navarez, which is another catcher.
Who did he play for?
He played for the Brewers. He played for what other club?
Whatever it is.
Whatever. Yeah.
It's I think catcher's gonna be a problem soon.
Well, it's not the Christian Vasquez, Sandy Leone days or the Salta.
Yeah, Salta Lamacchia.
Yeah. We were blessed with that, but Salty never even hit, bro.
He didn't. He was just defense.
You know,
But
Vasquez
Wong-
used to hit, and Leone would come in, maybe hit here or there.
Wong, I feel like he's so
Bro,
one
he
of his
hit
big like
260 last year though.
I don't know.
For a catcher, bro, I'll take that. I'll take it. Because realistically, the amount of money that we spent too is like, it's something that we got to look at. So if we can't get firepower out of what we already spent for, and we got a catcher in a trade, like the catcher's like a minimal part of that. I mean, you see, bro, I might see, look, this is when the bias
This is
kicks
a
in
bias
right
'cause he's a
here.
catcher.
I'm sorry. Catchers don't always have to hit, and it might be a borderline take, but I think it's a true take, and we'll talk about it. But catchers don't always have to hit because the other 8 should already be hitting, right?
Or you could have
And the catcher is the hardest position on the field. Come on, chat, be with me on this one.
or you could have Adley Rutschman. Is that his name?
Yeah, guess
Baltimore?
what? He's a switch hitting catcher, bro.
He's nasty.
Find me another switch hitting catcher.
Kick us off with the Roman question mark.
Give it to me. Give it to me right now. Because you don't even know who the
Give
biggest
it to me
fan.
right now.
That was crazy.
That was kind of crazy.
Nah, you're him, buddy.
Whoa.
Omar Silas, you've done it
Whoa.
again.
That was good water.
Little water break.
Refreshed.
He's fucking Union kid. Roman Anthony sounds like a church. But
It does.
He's gonna be a next god for the fucking Sox.
Yes, bro.
So, all right, my take on this is we've seen the situation with Mookie before and how they misplayed that and not locked him up and they didn't want to pay him. After this Christian Campbell signing and the Rafaela from last year, I feel like
they don't want to do it. They don't want to fuck up
bro,
again.
I feel like the second he gets to the bigs,
Yeah.
negotiate the contract and get him on a long-term deal.
But is he the same deal that we got out of Campbell?
He might be a little more, but you write the check. He has such a promising upside. How do you not open your checkbook? You cannot let a guy like this walk after you let Mookie Betts walk.
He's better than Benintendi, right?
Yes.
Okay. With that being said, then yes, because Benintendi was the number one prospect in baseball when he came up, right? And the thing about Roman, bro, is that he's
He's a specimen.
He's fucking special, bro.
Yeah.
You don't really come across guys like this, and you know the Red Sox have been building up their farm system for what, like.
I hated Bloom,
Yeah.
but he did.
But that was his.
He
that
did
was his
put that
job.
farm system together.
I think he made us suffer for 5 years or whatever it
But
is.
we're seeing the upside to it.
Yeah, and that, you know, it's the funny thing about life, bro, is that, and I'll just say this. This is a little off topic, but like, you know, Rome wasn't built in a day. Okay, just so y'all know. And with the Red Sox, I would compare them to Rome because the potential was always there, but it was about how long is it going to take, right? Right now, I think we're at the point of just starting to take over different territories.
Starting to take off in public.
I think we're ready to dump our farm system, bro. Listen, I am so crazy about Roman. I think they should trade. Oh, all right. Hold on.
Crazy
Hold on.
about
No, because no.
You're crazy about Roman.
You can get into that because I also have a point on Duran.
Okay. Dude, I love Duran. I think Duran is like the exact thing that every team should embody. Like, it should be a part of every team to have a guy like him. And it sucks that the way our progression has worked is that he came up when he was like fucking 26 years old, 27. And it's like, oh my God, he has an all-star season, wins all-star player of the game.
Yeah.
Like, it's a good problem to have. I'll just say that. But, you know, it's just, it sucks because I love him, but like, him and Yoshida are, if I had a block right now, I'm putting both of them right on it. Whatever someone can give me something. I'll put both of those out there just so I can make sure that Roman Anthony has a fucking spot to come up.
I don't think it's ever going to be a question that he doesn't have a spot.
I don't want to see him overtake Yoshi. Well, Yoshi's old, bro.
Yeah, bro, he's like 32. And that deal, bro.
It's a ballsy sign.
Like,
how much did we sign him for?
It was over. Was it 100?
Would you say that's worse than signing Trevor Story? That's the real question. Because, listen, I hate Trevor Story. I think Trevor Story is the worst signing that they've ever made.
I love his glove.
Yeah.
But, I mean, watching him today.
Leo, I've been hearing this for like 4 or 5 years now. I love his glove.
Well, 3 with the Sox, but.
Yes.
Okay, but, well, with Story, the signing made sense at the time.
Yes.
And what he was doing in Colorado, but they're at a different
altitude.
Like, the ball travels further in Colorado. And he was like a home run or a strikeout guy there.
Right.
So, and here, he hasn't been able to stay healthy.
Bro, he's literally, I looked at it recently before this year, the 3 years that he's been here.
He's never played over 100 games.
It was up to, I think it was 161 games. In the 3 years that he's been here.
No, but I'm saying for a single season,
he hasn't played a full season.
He's never played 100 games.
One season he hasn't played over.
He's literally Joel Embiiding the Sox.
No, he is. No, it's not even a question. And we signed him for what? 5-year, 170?
160 maybe?
Right.
Yeah.
160 safety. I'll never see him
somewhere around that ballpark.
Somewhere around 2 months.
But so the Yoshida contract we got to dump. The problem that I like that we have is we got Rafaela, Duran, Abreu
looks good.
And Roman Anthony.
I love Abreu.
Out of all 4 of those, Duran has to be the one on the out.
He's the odd man out.
Because he's older.
Yep.
He's only had 1 good season under his belt, and that was last year, where he was an all-star.
But he gets better each year, and that's
he does.
What kind of sucks.
And the way that the Sox could play this, if they don't trade him, is he has 2 more years on arbitration.
Is Devers younger than...
Wait, he's still on arbitration?
He has 2 more years of arbitration.
Oh, my God.
He's on arbitration this year.
Devers or Duran?
Devers.
Is he?
Yeah.
What? Duran's what, 29?
Devers is like 26 though.
Yeah.
Which is fucking incredible. But yeah, no, Durant is, I think he's 28. It might be 29.
Still though, you have your number one prospect coming up soon, and Abreu Gold Glove in his rookie year,
Which is like,
and he's not on an extension.
right, and no one talks about Abreu, but
Abreu's our
is
best hitter
worth
right
it.
now.
He kind of, dude, he's
in the mix.
he's really proved himself, and I'm honestly surprised about it because when he first came on, I was like, all right, here we go, another Emmanuel Valdez, or like a guy like that. But like, I don't know, there's something about him. He's sharp. I can't.
Good glove
deny it,
and
Good glove.
He's
no, really though.
No,
Not because
Gold
Gold
glove
just
and-
told me that shit. Like, yo, I hear that all the time.
Good-
What is
good-
a good glove, bro? Like, teach
Like-
me for somebody
like-
who's not a,
Nah,
he's
who's not an
not-
MLB guy. What's a good glove?
He's
with
trustworthy.
Trevor. With Trevor Story. That's why they signed him because he had a good glove and he
But
hit
what
home
is a
runs.
good glove?
Defense.
Yeah,
Like catching the ball when it's off.
Field-
the
a
bat.
good
doing it
glove
all.
is always a good thing. Always a good thing. If you have a good glove in baseball, and if you won a Gold Glove, and you're winning a Gold Glove is like
You're the best in that
you're
position.
the best at that position.
Okay.
And he won a Gold
And
Glove
in his
as
rookie
rookie year.
And he
last
got brought
year.
up like halfway through. So it
And that's
says
why we
something.
don't play Devers at third because he doesn't have a good glove.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he doesn't have a good glove
Well, that's why we paid 170 mil for a 30-year-old.
for a Gold Glover,
Right.
Well, like the
who only gets better throughout the whole year.
yeah.
Exactly. That's true. That's also very true.
The opposite of gloves is like hitting, right? So like, what's going on recently that you got to tell us?
I don't know. I was bought into this team fully, and I was listening to 98.5.
Dude, we haven't even played 10 games.
Bro,
Don't start.
Shut
please.
up.
Please.
So I was every day on the way home. I listen to 98.5. That's like Boston Sports Hub or
See,
whatever.
That's a true Boston.
All right.
guy, huh?
Nah, you see how he hates it, but he still listens to it?
No. I listen to Zoe and Beetle. I turn it off when Felger and Maz come on.
Wait, Zoe and who's it? Is it a chick or
Who?
Beetle?
Freaky.
No, that's Bertrand.
Oh, okay.
Their show is a lot more entertaining than Felger and Maz. I fucking can't stand Felger.
Why not WEI though?
I've been listening to them a little more, but they're like
though.
kind of strictly Sox.
Well, they have Lou on though.
Lou
You don't
Williams.
like Lou? Nah, I love Lou Williams though. Lou Merlone.
He's alright.
You don't like Lou, bro?
I don't really listen to them that much. But because I literally turn the radio off once. 2 o'clock
I
hits.
feel like every guy named Lou is an OG. You got Lou Williams. You got Lou
gotta
from
be.
Angelo's. I mean, I feel like every
I
Lou.
saw him the other day. Actually, I went in there.
Yeah.
Bro's missing a tooth.
He's down
OG
bad.
though.
He owns the spot now.
He's
though.
thugging it out.
Yo,
you
Every
remember-
Lou you know is OG.
Remember when we went there and we got pizza and I had a fucking wood chip like this big in my
yeah.
slice, bro? I'm like, are we dead ass?
Sounds like Angelo's.
We almost brought out another Murph bugging out incident. No cap. Bro, I'm telling you, it was the
I would've
size of
tweaked
like,
out.
you know the shit that you put in between the door so it stays open? Like, it's like a chip of that came out. And
Bro, it was
just
like
sitting on
this
pizza.
big. It wasn't on the pizza. It was in the pizza. Like I took a bite and when I like bit it and took the pizza, it was like
You're
just.
lying, bro.
I swear to God on my
No
life.
way.
I
Yo,
swear to
bullshit though,
God.
shout out Angelo's. Angelo's is the GOAT. Chicken and cheese fries, whatever
Make
you
sure
need.
you get chicken and fries. All right, that's it.
But what about the chicken and cheese fries though?
I miss the cheese fries, but I can't do that anymore. It doesn't work.
But yo, Murph, like we talking about Gold Glove. What about offensive side, like bats? Something's controversial is going up with the bats.
I mean, it's just Devers.
Dude, he started up the season.
Historically bad.
but
It's
I'm
never
talking
been
about
before.
literally,
the
like-
torpedo joints.
Oh, the torpedoes?
What's up with
I think
those? What is
so.
that?
The torpedoes.
I got the sauce on that.
It's-
I learned a little
They
bit.
took some of the diameter from the cap and moved it to the barrel,
Yeah.
which isn't illegal. The barrel has to be a certain diameter, and so the cap is kind of like a waste.
Okay.
Like if you hit it off the cap, it's like
Yeah.
not a hit.
You want to hit it in the middle. Like,
You want to hit the
in
sweet
soft
spot.
Yeah.
So what they did was they took some of the diameter from the cap, made that smaller, and then put that into the barrel.
I was bringing out them notes.
No, I'm just gonna show you on a bat.
But go ahead.
So I was trying to see what he was drawing.
So it's fatter in the middle.
See where these two lines are?
Yeah.
This is really the sweet spot. Of a
Teacher
bat,
O
right
going to
here.
work. He's teaching me about a torpedo bat. Yeah.
I know, because I didn't do my homework on notable free agents in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
But basically with the torpedo bat.
It's like they take some from here.
It's
put it
like-
here.
it's like this.
I can't even draw it, bro.
It's like a baseball bat's
it's juiced.
BBL.
Let me
It's
see it.
like-
Let me see it.
Well, because
This
you
is-
see, you see what I got there. Like that's a regular sweet spot.
All right, it's gonna be your torpedo. It's gonna be like one
There we
line,
go.
and then it's gonna get bigger in the
This is
barrel
good shit right there.
right here, and then it's gonna get smaller right here.
Great shit.
Come right here, get bigger in the barrel, come back up.
It's like
That
it's,
looks like a semen.
Yeah. No, so you
What, you got a swimmer?
That's the.
So that's your barrel right there.
So this is a
But
BBL for a baseball
So
bat.
Look at this, and then look at that.
So you're telling me that's not a BBL for a baseball bat?
It kind of
It
is.
is.
move-
It
It
is.
kind of is. I think that's a good comparison actually, because here's the thing.
You taking shit from the waist and you putting it in the sweet spot.
You don't know if like a BBL is worth it or not until you do it, right?
Type shit.
And then you get fucked up.
So we don't. Yeah. Until you
BBL
realize
jersey.
it's not real. But the thing is, we don't know
Tell that bitch
anything.
stiff as hell, nigga. You trying to hit that shit out here.
Shit's not even clapping back.
Oh, no, that shit
fucking
hurting.
It's like,
that shit hurting.
shit. What am I fucking a brick wall, bro? Like Jesus. Clip that.
All right, boys. I got a question for you two, baseball savants. There's been some usage of the steroids in the MLB, and we have two major players who have been kicked off the Hall of Fame based off of their steroid use. We got Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens. Do you think they should have been kicked off the Hall of Fame or kept based off of their usage or based off of their value to the game?
I'll just say this real quick. Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens both had Hall of Fame careers before they got bopped. And that's telling in itself. The thing is that, you know, actually, Murph, go ahead. I'm sorry.
You think they should have been
I
kicked
just-
off
I just-
or stayed there?
Nah.
I just want that to be clear, though, that like Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens were both Hall of Fame players.
Oh, you're dying.
And the MLB is, it's either the MLB or the NFL that is the hardest Hall of Fame to get into. These two, like they did it before they needed to, you know, but they also had Hall of Fame careers after steroids too.
So should they have been kicked off because of their steroid use? Yes or no?
My whole thing is that the MLB pushed that stuff.
And how about you, Murph?
Nah, I think they should bring steroids back. Nah, but this is my basis behind it. This is my basis behind it.
You said they should bring roids usage
Yes, yes.
But and he's going to give the argument that I want to hear, obviously, but from baseball players, the thing is that it's a very difficult thing to hit a baseball. And I think it's the hardest thing in sports,
back. 100%.
right? So with that being said,
Give every player steroids. You
Even though it fucks
Bro.
up their health,
right,
longevity.
but
fuck that. They get millions.
you don't care about them.
I don't give a fuck about them. I just want to watch them entertaining shit. The thing and it not all right. Put it this
No,
way. Put it this way. Bring roids back, but make it an option. You don't have to take it. Think about how much more electric the game would be and fun to watch.
You can't make it an option.
Yeah, bro, but
Why not?
But
Because dudes
that
are
was
gonna
my
be
main
out of the
argument.
right. That's
My main argument was everybody was using roids, so if you don't use it, your career's
which was
on the line.
Which was
'Cause
the case in the
everybody's juiced up.
90s, right? But it was because the MLB was in a dead ball era. There was no home runs being hit, and they're like, "Fuck, bro, I gotta spice up the game a little bit, right?" So then you have a Barry Bonds, you have a Sammy Sosa, you have a Mark McGwire. Like these dudes are.
But think about how much
they're
fun it was
skate-
to
they're-
watch that.
It was, and like the home run chase, beating Morris's record, like they're scapegoats for profit, you know, because the MLB has always been a dying like entity.
Yeah.
Right? They have to compete with the MLB, the NBA and the NFL. So, I mean, they always have to compete with them. They have to make sure that they get viewership. I mean, that's what comes down to it. Like a lot of these teams make money off of people watching. So if people are watching games that aren't eventful, they're gonna stop watching.
100%.
But if it's more home runs, more, production on the offensive side, that's the whole reason why there were those rule changes recently, right?
Yeah.
They made the bases bigger. They put a pitch clock, and
That's because the games are boring.
But
that goes back into what you're saying. You want to watch some entertaining shit.
but it's
The pitch clock
but
helps
that's what
'cause
I'm
it
saying.
helps
It's
with
like
speed.
It's viewership. It's like
The bases help.
what do they make money off of?
It's viewership and retaining those
Because
viewers.
clubs make money off of people watching their games, like the Pirates, right?
Mm-hmm.
For example, they make so much money off of cable deals, and then they don't spend any money, so that they retain all the money that's because baseball is different than any other sport. It's complicated. So I mean, I think it's fucked up, but
There's no sharing of revenues.
it's all in house.
So you think, final validity of your question, should Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens be in the Hall of Fame or not?
Listen, you still have to throw a pitch down the middle or a good pitch, and Barry Bonds still had to hit a baseball. I don't think steroids made him,
More accurate.
it's not about accuracy. It's really just about power. And that's what changed, right? So with Roger threw 20 strikeouts in a game, bro.
So you think they should stay on the Hall of Fame?
They should still be in it, yeah.
I think so, right? So they already have that preconceived idea. They're thinking about what brands the players are wearing. So like Nike, right? Like they own the jerseys. They want to see players in Nike jerseys for as many games as they can. No matter what.
But if you
But it comes down to like TV deals a lot. Like a lot of TV deals is what makes teams. So you need like TV nowadays with streaming, gambling, all that good stuff. Like TV deals are dwindling down.
I do it every night.
like Stream East, whatever. I'm not going.
I'm not name dropping the one I found.
Yeah, we're not going to name drop with the sauces.
That was crazy.
That's a clip. But yo, there's always like the TV deals are dwindling down. They need to figure out other ways to make revenue because MLB out of all the major pro leagues is at the bottom of the barrel.
Bro, because who the fuck wants to pay for Nesson?
So like when I'm talking about when Murph is talking about shortening the season,
play for.
But when Murph is talking about shortening the season, I think it's a valid take. Because at the end of the day, it's bringing more value to your sport, but also you need to bring more revenue in. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not gonna lie. This was one of my favorite episodes of all time. I mean, we had Murph rolling, we had O rolling. I'm not gonna lie, this was a very natural episode. There was nothing forced in between of this. It was very smooth.
I didn't pay anyone.
He didn't pay us, not yet. He's gonna send the cash app later. Nah, I'm joking, but yo, Murph, how you feel about the app, Brody?
I enjoyed it. It was definitely our longest one, but I think adding that third point of view to what we've been doing was key. I think changing the flow up a little bit was key. And yeah, we appreciate you coming through.
Oh, you got some words for us, twin?
Nah, bro, I'm happy to be here. I hope I didn't talk too much, but I got a lot of things that I'm passionate about. So
he's been building these up.
Yeah, I did my notes before I came here, but dude, it's nice to be here. You guys are very welcoming, and you guys didn't have to do this. And that's what it comes down to. You guys made a decision. You wanted to have me here, and I'm happy to be here.
At the end of the day, we're grateful to have you, O. I really appreciate you for coming through, bro. Not gonna lie. And this was the end of our episode. See y'all later.